How did you first receive or experience the gift of prophecy in your own life?
I first began realizing that I first began learning how God spoke to me, I should say, which is a huge part of that. You know, Marcus, we have to, just even in learning, we have to learn how we learn. Right?
Wow.
And then you become a gifted learner once you learn how you learn. And I had to learn how I heard the Lord speak. And it had to do with the areas of fascination that I had with the Father's heart. And like I began to realize in the late 1980s in my own ministry that I was praying for them. My heart would break over them, over how much Jesus loved them. And then a word would come with that. And I began to recognize that's one of the voices of the Lord to me. And so learning to hear his voice also is all about learning to hear how the Father personally connects with you and finding him in that place over and over and over again. I actually worked at a prayer center for a while in the 1980s, and people would call, and I would begin to prophesy to them, and they would say, "Oh my gosh!" I had one guy gave his heart to King Jesus when I prayed for a broken arm, and he didn't have one. But then, and he didn't tell me that, and he did have a broken arm. But then I began to search the Lord concerning the times and the seasons we're living in. And I began to ask him, what are you going to do in the year 2020? What's going on with this nation and that nation? And what I found was God's heart is also in those places. And so, you know, it is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but it is the honor of kings to search out the matter. And the more I grew in the majesty of Jesus and understanding that I'm one of his sons, I began to grow in the gift of prophecy.